So next up, it's Samantha Starr. And Samantha is now a regular on Cool2Craft. And she has a really deep background in scrapbooking. She's going through some changes right now with her business, but her love and background and passion is with scrapbooking and paper crafting. You see her on our Wednesday night show, which is the Cool2Craft PM edition. That's the pajama party. She's also a teacher at Craft Tech University, so you're going to want to go and check out her classes there. And today, Samantha has a really cool charm project. So we are delighted to introduce Samantha Starr. Hi, Samantha.
Hello. I just have to say that I love having the two of you hosting because you're totally playing off each other and the chemistry is just amazing. So as Tiffany said, I'm here today to share a project with you, which is a super cute charm, which can be used as a keychain or as a cell phone charm. So I'm going to have her put up that slide, and then I'm going to start the demo. This is actually a super easy project, and it's super, super fun to do. And it's something that I did at a make and take at a scrapbook crop, because what I like to do is when I do projects for scrapbookers, I like to kind of do things with scrapbooking projects that are a little different. So we created these really cute cell phone charms. As you can see, they have that little linky thing that you can put on your cell phone or your cell phone case. So there's really very little supplies that you need to create this project. So first off, you need sort of this pendant style charm. Okay, and you need a little, if you're going to put a little shape on it, I put a star, obviously, for Samantha Star. And then, of course, you need these little lanyards that clip onto your cell phone. So basically, the first step is what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take a high-tack glue that dries nice and clear. And I'm using one of my favorites here. And you're just going to want to put like a super thin, messy layer of that on there. And then what I do is I take a glitter, and this is a very chunky glitter. It's not a fine glitter. It's almost, I would almost say, like a sequin glitter. So what I do is I just take just a little bit of the glitter, or I mean you could put a lot of the glitter, depending on how you want it to look. And I just dump the glitter on there. And then I shake off any excess glitter. And yeah, as Elizabeth said, I'm working with glossy accents right now. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to cover it with as much of the glitter as you like. As you can see, I've got a whole glob of it there in the middle. And what you're going to want to do next is use an alphabet sticker. And I'm going to be using a sparkly alphabet sticker because there's no such thing as too much sparkle. So I'm going to choose the letter T for Tiffany. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to stick that on top of my glitter. Okay? Next up, I'm going to add some extra glitter. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a drop of my glue and a nice little rhinestone. I'm going to glue on a rhinestone right next to my T. Now, the last step to this is to sort of glaze everything together with a Crackle glue. So here's what our charm looks like. And then basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open your jump ring and put on any other little charms that you want to put on. So then you put on your lanyard onto your jump ring. Now jump rings can sometimes be a little tricky to work with. Like sometimes I feel like I need to have maybe 5 hands in order to open and close a jump ring. So there are jump ring openers that exist out there on the market. I have one and I continuously lose it, so I just find sometimes a pair of pliers is best. Of course, when you're working with a whole bunch of jump rings, like if you're doing jewelry or something like that, then having a proper tool might be a good idea. But when you're just doing one or two of these, then pliers are going to be probably your best friend. So up next, I'm going to take a Crackle medium. This one here is by Ranger, called Crackle Accents, which is very similar to the glossy accents. However, when it dries with a crackle finish. So what you're going to want to do is you're just going to want to put a thin, even layer of this all over your charm. So it goes on looking like sort of a clear glue or a clear epoxy. And as it dries, it crackles. And it might take, depending on how thick you put it on, it might take a little while for it to dry. So you don't want to rush through this. This probably isn't a great project to do with kids because of the drying time. So just keep that in mind. And I'm going to cover just about everything with that. And I'm going to leave that aside to dry. And when it dries, I don't know if we're going to be able to see that. I'll hold it up to the camera and hold it still. And my camera is not wanting to focus on it, probably because of the glitter. But when we put the slide back up at the end, you'll see the crackle detail. Now, because I have a couple more minutes, I just wanted to talk to you about an alternate way that you can deal with the metal. So first off, we did our glitter. And the next thing that you can do is use alcohol inks. So there's a few things that you can do, actually. You can use Copic markers, if you have, to stain the metal. Otherwise, what you can do is use some alcohol ink and some kind of a cotton sponge. Mine already has some nice gold on there. And you can use that to stain. So basically, the only thing we would change is our first step. And as you can see, I'm changing the color of my metal. And if you're really sort of daring, what you can do is you can put your alcohol ink right onto the metal. And then what you might do is, depending on the colors that you use, you might forego your glitter. I know that sounds sort of silly, but you can actually get some really nice metallic inks. And what you might do is you might put, I think I'm going to put some blue on there as well. Sort of mix that in. And then what you can do is you can put your alphabet sticker on. So I'm using H for Heidi. We have our two sisters in the house today. And then I'm going to, with my glossy accents, which is now sort of, the tip is now sort of dry, so I always keep a pin on hand. And I'm just going to put on a drop of glossy. I'm going to put on a nice little rhinestone there like that. And then I'm going to do exactly what I did before. I'm going to cover the entire thing in the Crackle accent. So here are my completed projects. Now I saw some questions that were running through the chat room. Are there any, there's the slide. So as you can see on the slide, the Crackle accents dry so beautifully. It's one of my favorite products. Definitely one of my favorite products. I know a lot of you were asking where you can get the charms. I've actually purchased these in a few places. Some bead stores have them. You can find some people who sell them on Etsy as well. But basically anywhere that sells beading supplies will sell something like this. I've seen the charms, the lanyards for the cell phones at these little black things here. I've seen them at my local craft store as well in their beading section. So if you find somewhere that has a good selection of beads, then you will likely find these. I mean, they're only about, you know, you can see them next to my finger. They're not huge, so they're used a lot in jewelry making. And the letters that I used, these are just scrapbook alphabet letters that have a nice glittery finish on them. So your local scrapbook store or your scrapbook section in your, maybe in your big box store will have these. And you're going to want to look for something that's going to be small. You don't want a gigantic font on there.